Hello, good evening, and welcome to JoyNews Prime. We're coming to you live from our studios here at Kukumlemne. We're also live on DSTV channel 421, Go TV channel 125, around the world on myjoyonline.com. My name is Faustina. So for tonight, 2 feared dead, many trapped in Galamsey pit collapse at Mpasatia in the Ashanti region. We're live in the area for details. Tensions in Gumwa and Memphis escalate into violence as 6 houses belonging to some herdsmen have been set ablaze by local farmers following a dispute over crop distraction. Also in the bulletin, veterinary officers in Damango are racing against time to contain an African flu swine fever outbreak that has led to the death of hundreds of pigs in the municipality. We have business and showbiz in the next 60 minutes as well. My name is Fiscal. Remember, we are your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Please stay for details. Thanks for choosing us. Well, tonight, 2 people have died after an illegal mining pit collapsed at Mpasatia, Yao in Kwanta in the Chubamponia district of the Ashanti region on Tuesday morning. Several others have feared trapped as rescue efforts continue. Well, the identities of the deceased and those still trapped are yet to be confirmed. Local residents, along with police and security agencies, are working to retrieve the bodies and rescue others. Well, Nana Mpasatia, a resident, spoke to JoyNews about the tragic incident.
The face no, if you want the face ne down, and you know the face no down, and you omuditi echo assassin and Casaide as I pick in omudi omudibo.
Okay.
Na we no omudi dia mana kwasi anymore, and now say asiano na epekema omunintino, omani nisro diano. Entino omudidi asiano, omudidi asiansa, omudi pick in a boba asiansa, and Yabasana a slowly receive because the load in the weight in the Abidjan top.
Okay.
It's a nona omanshe because omo concentration was sikana omunya na solintino. Omagri nisu se bia adena omoye no so hu abitima saide edwira saide ekuomo. Entianumu no face no ebi o ha ne face ne down. Enti ne face ne down enti omudidi ekọ asase na nkasaide ase ai pick no omode omodebo.
Okay.
Na we no omodidi ama na kwa ase ne mo enam se ase no na epekema omonintino. Omani nisoro de no. Enti no omudidi asiye no omudwiri asiye nsa omudi pick na bobo asiye sa nti e basa na esoro ni receive because the load in the weight ni nyina be dey abegina top.
Okay.
Enti no na omanhwe because omo concentration wo sika na omunya na so nti no omadwiri ni so se bia ade na omo ye no so hu abitima sai dey edwiri asade ekuomo. Enti no mu no face no ebi o ha ne face ne down. Enti ne face ne down enti omudidi ekọ asase na nkasaide ase ai.
Well, it's a good time to bring in my colleague Nana Yaljima. He's been following this story, joins us live with details. Nana, let's start with a quick translation. What was Yao Mpasatia saying?
What Mr. Mpasatia is saying is that these miners, they dig with pickaxe and shovels, and they dig deep into the belly of the earth where the gold ore lies. So in attempts to get these, the gold dug out, they have their own safety mechanism that they use. And this time they forgot about to put in place such safety mechanism. That is how the pit caved in, killing 2 people.
Tell us about the current status of the rescue efforts at the area.
So before I left the area, then from what I have is that community members had taken over the rescue efforts. Police left the place a while ago. They didn't communicate why they are exiting the scene. But the rescue effort now is being led by illegal miners within the vicinity. And they are using shovels and pickers to dig in attempt to get out these people who are trapped in there. Before I left, there were no machinery on site. They were still using these simple tools to try excavate the land and dig out the people who are trapped in there. So what I can confirm now is that rescue effort is still underway, but this time it's being led by illegal miners and some townsfolk.
But what happened to the police, really? Are they not on site?
So this morning, what I know is that the townsfolk were those who rescued the two people. Immediately, those people were dug out and they found them dead. The police came in at that time and picked the deceased people to the morgue. And since then, the police never returned to site. So there was also no communication from the police as to why they are not on the site. So at the time, the community and the townsfolk since then have led the rescue effort. Now we are yet to get a communication from the police as to why they are not on the ground trying to help in the rescue effort.
And do you know the current identity of those deceased?
So far, the deceased have not been identified. There's still some measures or efforts underway to try to get to relatives or get to people who have relatives in there to try and come identify if indeed they are their relatives. But as to now, the identities of the deceased are yet to be unraveled.
I know you've been doing your digging. Do we know just how many more are trapped in that pit?
So according to people who were at the scene, they believe that 6 people at the time of the collapse of the pit were within the pit, and 2 of these people have been retrieved. So it's believed that 4 people may still be trapped in there. These are just speculations from people who were at the scene during the time when the pit collapsed. So we want to believe that 4 people are still trapped in there.
Thank you, Nana. I'm sure you'll be keeping your tabs on this and we'll bring our audience updates as soon as we have them. Well, still on illegal mining, let's take you now to the Western Central region, where the police have arrested 11 individuals, including 4 Chinese nationals, for illegal mining along the Bonsa River and a site near Wasaguna. The operation, which took place on the 31st of March, led to the confiscation of several mining equipment, while the suspect, who confessed to illegal mining activities, are now under police custody. Well, the Deputy Commander for Western Central Region, ACP Bismarck Ejapon, has details. Well, thankfully, I'm told I have him now on phone with me. ACP Ejapon, thank you so much for your time here on JoyNews Prime. Let's get a sense of what exactly happened on that day. Walk us through the operation and what led to the arrest of these 11 suspects. ACP Ejapon, can you hear me?
Yes, it's on and off. I think it's okay now.
Oh, I'm glad I have better connection to you. I just wanted to get a sense of what happened on that day, what intelligence you picked that led to the arrest of these 11 suspects.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam. As it is, it has been the policy of the Inspector General of Police and the Ghana Police Service in general to clamp down on this illegal mining. But it's not an easy task. But we are doing our best. And on this day, our intelligence team has monitored activities of some illegal miners along the Bonsa River. And on the 31st, that's yesterday, we had the green light that when we move, we could get them. And so our team, operational team, together with the intelligence team, actually moved in, and this number of people were picked from 2 places. One at the Bonsa itself, that's the banks of the river at Bonsa, and the other, that is 5 of them, and the other 6 of them at Wasa Aguna, all along the Bonsa, banks of the river Bonsa. But this one is at the Bonsa Township, and the other one is the Wasa Aguna area. So, it has been done based on efforts using our police intelligence with the help of people around who give information, and that's helped us to succeed in this yesterday's operation.
And what measures are being taken to locate and recover the 4 excavators used in the illegal mining operation, especially at Wasaguna?
Yes, we rely on the information from the citizens, the communities around, as well as our police teams of intelligence officers who may go undercover to observe and then later give us the full detail, then we can move in and get people arrested. As it is, sometimes far away from home, so it's not an easy task. But of course, once the administration has resolved for us to do this work, we are putting in every effort to bring the situation under control.
And these suspects, how soon do we expect them to be prosecuted? What likely charges are you putting before the court?
Of course, generally, it's engaging in illegal mining, and other things will follow when we study the docket. But first and foremost, we know illegal mining is not allowed in the country. So that's the main charge, and all the other things will be added later.
And how do we ensure these issues do not spring up again? What are you doing on the ground to ensure this doesn't happen again?
Yes, we are on it. And as I've mentioned to you already, we are taking information from the communities. And police are also around doing monitoring ourselves and going on patrols and other places like that. So we are not leaving any stone unturned.
So you're increasing police visibility, is that the case?
It's not only visibility. Visibility mostly is in the towns and communities, but because they operate far away from the towns, we have to actually walk or move far away from the towns and locate them in the areas of their operation.
Okay.
And so our resolve not to relent is the one that will motivate us, with the support of our IGP and the police administration, urging us on to do more. We are not actually sitting down. We continue to pursue them until we have been able to eliminate or bring the situation to barest minimum.
Thank you, ACP Bismarck Ejapong, there for joining us live from the Western region. Let's do some other stories now. A deadly outbreak of African swine fever has hit Damango in the Savannah region, killing hundreds of pigs and putting the livelihood of farmers at risk. A number of communities are struggling to contain the disease, with some farmers resorting to burying infected pigs to curb its spread. Many are still recovering from a previous outbreak in 2023, and some say they may have to abandon pig farming altogether if the situation persists. Well, let's go on our phone lines now and speak to Isaac Noya. He joins me live from the Savannah region with more updates on this. Isaac, based on your checks, can you give us a sense of the scale of devastation this outbreak has caused, really?
Yes, considering the number of communities that have been affected so far, we think that the number now is huge, but the exact figure is what even officers on the ground cannot confirm. But if you listen to the pig farmers, they will tell you that at least one person has lost about 8, another person 9, and the other 2, 4 or 5. So no farmer I've spoken to so far has lost less than 4 pigs in the industry. Now, the whole thing started from a community by name Frafra number 6, 3 weeks ago, and it's spread to other areas. And then if you listen to some of the pig farmers, they will attribute the spread to...
We seem to have lost connection to Isaac Noya. Whilst we work the line to regain connection to him, we're just giving you an update on the situation in the Savannah region. African swine fever has actually hit the region, and as a result, a number of communities are struggling to contain the virus. He also spoke to some of the farmers. Isaac Noya has been engaging them to get a sense of their plight. And let's listen to them as we try to reconnect the lines to Isaac Noya.
I have a pigs in it. I have about 8 of them, and then 8 of them are brought to come add his to add to 9. So everything that the sickness came, everything had passed away. And during that one, the pig normally helped me to take care of my children, the education. And now I'm now confused. Everything with the pregnant one, my brother one delivered about 4, and then the younger one died with the mother one. Mine too also delivered about 5, and then the one also died with the piglets. And everything has just gone out now. They're confused. I don't know what I'll do. Yeah.
It's said that these days the market is always once. You can kill, someday they will come and buy all. Today we kill only one, and we are still having about 3 ties hanging there, and ball meat is still there. So the market is only was, but now the money is not there. And the pigs too are even dying.
Oh, so you're aware.
I'm aware of it.
So how does that affect your business too?
And it affect our business too much. Because if the pig is sick, you can't even kill it. If you kill it, you can't even chop. Because those are having, it's only having a kind of some kind of scent that, and if it die too, he will not also buy it.
Well, we're still trying to reconnect the lines to Isaac Nonya to get a sense of what is happening in the Savannah region. If you just tuned in, we gave you updates that indeed there is an outbreak of African swine fever in the Damango district of the Savannah region. Hundreds of pigs have been killed and the livelihood of farmers, they tell us, is at risk. Now, some of them have resorted to burying some of these pigs altogether. We're trying to reconnect the lines to our correspondent to get a sense of what is happening there. And once we get him, we'll take you back to the Savannah region. To other stories now, there's pressure mounting on government to disclose details regarding 2 flights that landed in Ghana in early March and later departed for Gran Canaria in March as well on the 25th. The flights, an air ambulance and a private jet, allegedly stayed in the country for 5 days, but no evidence has surfaced to confirm the air ambulance was carrying any patients. Ranking member on the Defense and Interior Committee, John Intimfojo, is calling on the national security to reveal the cargo content of these aircraft, expressing concerns that they might be involved in a drug trafficking scandal, which is yet to be uncovered, as well as money laundering.
Matter of air med flights and Cavoc Air private jets transporting suspected cocaine and cash. Ladies and gentlemen, on another security matter related to our airspace, the Minority Caucus calls on national security to, as a matter of urgency, make public the content of cargo suspected to be cocaine and cash transported into the country by 2 suspicious flights, namely Air Med flights NH23AM and Cavoc Air private jets Antonov and 12B, which landed on the tarmac of Kotoka International Airport in March 2025 from Gran Canaria, an island of Spain, and departed to the same Gran Canaria days after their arrival.
The minority is also pressing for an update on the seizure of gold bars and cash by national security operatives on February 9. The items were confiscated from a warehouse in Sappeman, but nearly 2 months later, there has been no official update on the investigation.
On national security's raid on 12 containers containing gold and cash. On February 9, 2025, national security conducted a major raid on a warehouse in Sappeman in the South municipality in Accra, where they uncovered 12 20-foot containers filled with gold bars and unspecified amount of cash in various denominations of US dollars and Ghana cedis, worth over several billions of dollars. This operation was widely carried by various media outlets in Ghana. Nearly 2 months after this operation, national security has failed to brief the public on the status of their investigation relating to the corporates behind the billions of gold and cash stashed in the 12 containers, and failed to disclose the actual quantity of gold and the specific amount of money retrieved during the operation and what the state intends to do with the gold and cash currently in the custody of national security. We demand accountability. We demand national security to give accounts of the gold bars and the cash retrieved and what they intend to do with it.
It is also urging government to resume the procurement process for offshore patrol vessels for Ghana Navy following a recent pirate attack that led to the kidnapping of crew members.
On the matter of reported pirate attack, while we urge full-scale investigation into the incident to apprehend the pirates, we call on the government to resource the Ghana Navy with the required complement of offshore patrol vessels to fully equip the Ghana Navy to more comprehensively and effectively safeguard our waters.
Well, the Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture, alongside the Fisheries Commission, they have suspended the fishing licenses of 4 industrial trawl vessels operating within Ghana's exclusive economic zone. The 12-month suspension comes as a result of repeated violation of the Fisheries Act, including illegal transshipment, dumping of fish, and harvesting juvenile fish. This move aims to protect Ghana's maritime ecosystem and the livelihood of coastal fishing communities. Well, join me now is the Acting Executive Director for the Fisheries Commission, Professor Benjamin Champion. Thank you so much for your time. He joins us live as we discuss this. Now, you say that you have suspended the licenses of these vessel owners for a period of 12 months. Is that enough, really, especially when they're violating the Fisheries Act?
Yeah, so the Fisheries Commission and, of course, the ministry as a whole has a lot of other options. So there is the complete revocation of the license. There are suspensions, of course, different durations of suspensions. Over the years, we have mostly used the case where they pay a fine. This time, what we have noticed is that, of course, these fines have not been punitive enough, and that's why we have gone to the next stage of going into giving them this long suspension.
When it comes to illegal transshipment, or what we call at cycle, many remain a challenge. Many say that this is a major challenge, and despite regulatory reforms, it is still happening. What specific challenges are you facing as the Fisheries Commission? Why can't you nip this in the bud?
Yeah, so just like any criminal activity, you need 2 vessels who are ready to at least break the law. So there's usually the industrial trawl vessels who do the illegality, and then they need a local fisherman who is ready to buy. And once they get these products, then our challenge now is that because they are local fishermen, sometimes they brand it in such a way that it looks as if they went out there to do legal fishing. And so we are putting in place measures like monitoring their routes at sea. And once we monitor their routes at sea, we are able to know times that they are doing this transshipment. We've also established what we call landing beach enforcement committees. And these are ordinary people along the landing beach who watch out for some of these transshipped products, which we call cycle. And once they are reported, then we go out to seize the vessel, arrest the owners, and then work backward to identify the trawl vessel that did the transshipment. Now, aside this year, we are also working on increasing the presence at sea. That's in terms, we have this marine fisheries enforcement unit. The fisheries enforcement unit is some people from the Navy and our officers who are out there. We need to provide them with patrol boats so that they can patrol the waters. Aside that, there is also the marine police, but they too, they need some patrol boats to also patrol the water. These are being done. In the near future, we are procuring various patrol boats so that we can patrol the waters. In the meantime, what we are working on is
can you give me a timeline when you say nearest future?
Yeah, the patrol boat, like the commission already has procured one. We have paid some part of the money. It's step by step. You pay a part, and then they produce it to up to a certain level. Then you pay the next tranche. It's in tranches. And so the process started even in the last government, and it is continuing. So I can't tell exactly when it will be delivered. It's based on deliverables. Once they reach a particular stage, they submit the invoice for that, for which we pay, and then it moves to the next stage. And so we'll soon procure our own patrol vessel. But the Navy is supporting us in other aspects. The Navy has some vessels that they sometimes help us in the patrols when we work with the Fisheries Enforcement Unit.
Now, I'm sure you're aware that Ghana, we have international obligations to meet. But with this recurrent problem that we're facing, how do you prescribe we deal with this? As a ministry, you've just tabled out some of the key things you'll be working on. But I want specific steps moving forward that you'll be implementing to ensure that our marine biodiversity is protected.
Yes, and so some of the international obligations, I just watched your earlier story, which was about Galamsey. I think the sea is just in the same state, just that it is out of sight. What we are working on is to improve the biodiversity, like you say. So we are working on establishing what we call marine protected areas. So there will be marine protected areas. These are areas that will protect to recover the fishery, not just the fishery, but biodiversity in general. We have also suspended closed season this year, but in the absence of the closed season, we are working on enforcement. And so we've started with education. In the past few months, we've met the leadership. If I say we, I'm talking of the ministry and the commission. We have met with leadership of the various fishing units. And we have told them that we are going straight to implement and enforce the law. And so they are aware of that, and this is just the beginning. Now we are also going to, our presence will be felt. They will see us at the landing beaches. Our officers will be inspecting. They would also see us in the waters, and our officers will be out there arresting people who break the law.
Thank you so much, Prof, for your time here on JoyNews Prime. Well, still on fishing, Ghana's fish stock and coastal livelihoods remain at risk due to illegal fishing methods such as light fishing and dynamite fishing used in the Volta Lake. Now, to ensure that they tackle the phenomenon, the Fisheries Commission and local stakeholders, they have convened and they're working to deal with this in a strategic move in Keta. There's more in this report.
Unreported and unregulated fishing is taking a toll on Ghana's marine and inland waters. Fisher folks say dwindling catches are forcing some into destructive practices, further endangering fish population. At a stakeholders meeting held at the Keta Municipal Assembly, representatives from the Fisheries Commission, Marine Police, local authorities, and fisher folks deliberated on the way forward. Benjamin Campio from the Fisheries Commission says enforcement remains a challenge, but they are working with the Marine Police to strengthen oversight.
The government has also established Marine Police. So we are working with the Marine Police. At least those ones can easily be deployed to the various police stations, especially the coastal communities. If for every police station you have 1 or 2 marine police assigned to them, then when we bring some of these cases, they know what the law says and they can prosecute properly. The regular police who don't know the law, sometimes when you bring them, they are wondering what is wrong with this and what should we do.
The meeting followed a petition from the Concerned Fishers Association urging authorities to clamp down on illegal fishing. Fisher folk leaders, particularly women in the industry, like Ruby Adipo, expressed concerns over the health and economic impacts.
And we are pleading to our fisher folks, especially the fishermen, those who use the IUU should stop using them because it's affecting our health.
Authorities reassured fisher folks that stricter enforcement will begin soon.
Well, tensions have erupted into violence in Goma Menfi in the central region after 6 houses belonging to herdsmen were set ablaze by local farmers in retaliation for the destruction of their crops. The attack, which began on Sunday, has left 2 individuals injured, including an elderly woman, and caused extensive property damage. Adum News reporter Kofi J is on the grounds to provide more details on this unfolding situation. Thankfully, he joins us live with more. Kofi, tell us more about this incident. Really, what happened?
It's a farming community in the Gumwa West District of the Central Region. What happened was that the local community members are alleging that these Fulani herdsmen have been destroying their crops, especially the normally plant pepper. They cultivate pepper farm. So for the past week now, these Fulani herdsmen have been destroying their crops with their cattle. So on Friday last week, the local committee went to where the Fulani herdsmen resided. So they went there and gave them a strong warning and warned them that they should not allow their cattle to come to their place to destroy their crops again. But they thought it was just a normal warning. So on the Sunday, the cattle went to their farm again and destroyed the remaining pepper farm. So the local community members mobilized themselves and attacked the Fulani community and set 6 houses ablaze. And in the process, an elderly woman nearly got burnt, and one of the young guys were also brutalized and were sent to Winneba Trauma and Specialist Hospital.
And what are authorities, especially security operatives, doing to restore calm in the area?
Yeah, currently 7 people have been arrested by the Winneba Divisional Police Command, and the police have assured them that they will give them adequate security. But the Fulani herdsmen are saying that they are living in fear because they don't know when and where the community members will come and attack them again. But the security officers have assured them that to provide them security.
And what are local authorities doing to ensure that peace is restored in that area?
According to, we spoke to the chiefs and they said that they are going to engage the Fulani herdsmen and find lasting solution about it. This is because this is not the first time they've been having some scuffle between the Fulani herdsmen and the local community. So they are working towards that.
Thank you so much, Kofi, for giving us that update. And you're still watching JoyNews Prime. We have more updates for you after this quick turn. Please stay tuned in. JoyNews Prime. Hundreds of traders counting their losses after the Edum Blue Light Arena fire may get some relief soon. This because President John Dramani Mahama, he has directed the Ashanti Regional Council and the Greater Accra Gender Ministry, to engage banks on easing loan repayment terms for affected business owners. Regional Minister Dr. Frank Amahuhini says some victims, having lost everything, are also receiving psychological support. There's more in this report by Nana Yaojima.
According to figures from the National Disaster Management Organization, about 2,900 people were affected by the Edum fire. By the figure, 1,500 people claim not to be in position to feed themselves, hence foodstuff support. Dr. Amahuhini indicated records have shown some persons are indebted to banks.
Some of them who come in complain about their bankers still, pestering them for repayment of loans. I made this information available to His Excellency the President, who has requested that we take the details of the traders and their bankers so that we will get to know the loans they have taken and be able to intervene.
Dr. Amahuhini reveals a holistic support is being extended to the victims.
I think there was a key issue about psychological support. So that one too, we have laid with a team from Confanoche, who we refer them to when the issues come up. There are others too who come in here, and if you look at their condition, you realize that they need some level of support. As Regional Minister, on behalf of the President, I encourage them that the government is willing to support them.
Meanwhile, some philanthropists continue to offer financial support to the fire victims. Renowned road and building contractor Emmanuel Abuaje has extended financial support of 500,000 cedis to persons affected by the fire. The amount was received by the Regional Coordinating Council on behalf of the traders. I am from Kumasi and I know the role small businesses play in the local economy. I am aware of the negative impact of the fire on your business. my foundation has decided to support people in need. So in response to the regional minister's call, I am here to support you with 500,000 cedis, and I call on all to respond in similar manner. Reconstruction of the market is uncertain as the Regional Coordinating Council wait on the Asantehene for a determination. For JoyNews, Nanaya Jima reporting.
In the Ashanti region, because residents of Ejisu Asaman are struggling with erratic water supply due to frequent breakdowns of the community's borehole. Now, many rely on neighboring boreholes to meet their daily water needs. While they seek temporary solutions, they are calling on government for a lasting fix to the crisis. Nana Jima once again with this report.
The existing borehole at Ejisu Asaman, built in the early 90s, has gone through several renovations. The regular breakdowns and repairs have drained the community until some residents began to sink boreholes for private use, mainly turned to streams for water supply. Stephen Buama is assembly member for Tikrum, Baro, Asaman electoral area.
We sometimes turn to the stream when the borehole develops a fault. We share the stream with animals. The repairs on the borehole may take time sometimes due to the costs involved.
Akwesi Brobe, a resident of the area, is worried about possible disease outbreak in the community.
A lot of us turn to the stream for water to survive. We can't continue to drink from unsafe water sources. It can cause diseases among the people.
Through a partnership between Rotary Club of Kumasi Premier International and electronic giants LG, a solar-powered borehole has been commissioned for the community. Katechie Afrifa is marketing manager of LG.
In Ghana specifically, there's a lot of sunlight. How are we going to convert these sunlight to make sure that it is also to our benefit?
Meanwhile, Rotary Club of Kumasi Premier International is encouraging the community to institute measures to maintain the facility. Rotarian Avinash Lakani is president-elect.
They've really got something good on their hands here. I think they should take very good care of it. They should maintain it because we know as a club that they do have more needs regarding sanitation issues. The club can always partner with them and do much more for the community provided the facilities that are given to them are maintained.
It's time now for business, and the ranking member on Parliament's Committee on Economy and Development, Kujopon Nkrumah, has announced his committee's commitment to ensuring fiscal prudence and preventing budget overturns. Now, according to him, his committee will be partnering the Budget Committee to achieve that. Speaking on Business Life, Mr. Opon Nkrumah stated that the committee's focus on preventing budget overturns is particularly significant given government's efforts to reduce expenditure and achieve economic stability.
The job of the Budget Committee, and we will be assisting them from the economy side, is to ensure that all of these things are adhered to so that you don't have overruns in the end. There's quite elaborate provision in the Public Financial Management Act. We haven't been too excellent in applying or enforcing it, but I think what we need to do now with these new standing orders and multiple committees keeping an eye on it is to ensure that those who are responsible for the application of these funds stick with the PFMA regulation.
Well, it's time for sports, and Razak Musbao joins me in the studio. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, Faustina. Happy holidays. You're looking great.
Thank you.
There's just been some action in the Ghana Premier League, which just ended. Midiama, they completed a season double over Basake Holy Stars with a 2-1 win at the TNS Stadium in Takwa earlier this afternoon. The result mirrored their first round victory early in the campaign. Basake Holy Stars made a strong start and took the lead in the 28th minute through midfielder Issa Yakubu. But Midiama responded before half-time with defender Kamaradini Mamudu leveling the score in first half stoppage time. Well, the home side did continue to push for the winner and found it late as Derek Fojo struck in the 89th minute to seal the win. The victory temporarily left Midiama into the top 4, though, of course, Wednesday result could affect their standing. Midiama, meanwhile, Mpasatia Holy Stars will remain 13th, 6 points adrift of safety as the battle for survival intensifies. Well, elsewhere also, the Benny Gold Stars managed to beat visiting Heart of Lions at the Downs Park to regain top spot in the standings. The Miners started the match at a high tempo and broke the deadlock 40 minutes into the game through Samuel Atta, Kumi, Frimpong Manso team, then doubled their lead from the spot just before the break through Gideon Anaba. Heart of Lions pulled one back in the 60th minute, but it was not enough to deny the Miners all 3 points, who now sit 2 points clear atop the league standings. Here is head coach of the side, Frimpong Manso, after the game.
It's getting more difficult. So the main point in the saying, say all corner then because they say no a year right into the decisive the games, side games, and win we're one of those games. So for me, I think if you want to win the league, if we want to win the league, it means we need to win such games. I know a bit me do winning the league. And a bit my outside, they say away any home games. There's no difference. Now will be more difficult. But it depends on how we react to those games. And on a bit much, I say better top or and I say will be better top.
Yeah, well, just a quick one for Manchester City, where striker Erling Haaland is set to be out for up to 7 weeks, following an injury that he picked up in the FA Cup game against Bournemouth. Well, the player is set to miss quite a number of games, but is expected to be back at least before the start of the Club World Cup tournament there. Well, there's going to be games tomorrow in the Ghana Premier League. Hartlepool will be in action. Kotoko will also be in action.
Of course, Kotoko will win.
We'll see how it all fares. The title race is getting really tense. Kotoko, BBN Gold Stars, Hartlepool, Heart of Lions, all of them are fighting for the...
Want to know my prediction?
Yeah, who do you think will win it?
5-1 in favor of Kotoko.
Let's see. They're playing Brecum Chelsea. It's a difficult game.
Let's see how it goes. I'm putting my money on that, though. But to other stories now, President John Dramani Mahama has assured the public that a thorough investigation will be conducted into allegations of drug trafficking and money laundering linked to 2 suspicious flights arriving at Kotoka International Airport. This comes after the minority in Parliament. They raised concerns, prompting President Mahama to direct all relevant agencies, including the Narcotics Control Commission and the Police CID, to collaborate with the Member of Parliament, Reverend John Intim-Fojo, in providing the necessary information to investigate the matter. And that statement is on his Facebook page. It's coming up on your screens now. It says that my attention has been drawn to allegations made at a press conference by an Honourable Member of Parliament, Reverend John Intim-Fojo, regarding 2 suspicious flights arriving at the Kotoka International Airport, suspected to be involved in drug trafficking and money laundering. Government takes all allegations seriously, and to ensure a thorough and transparent investigation, I have directed all relevant investigative agencies, including the Narcotics Control Commission, the Police CID, the National Investigations Bureau, and the National Security Coordinator, to immediately and fully collaborate with the Honourable Member of Parliament, so he provides all necessary information to investigate the allegations and take all necessary action to expose any drug dealing. We will maintain zero tolerance for using Ghana as a transit or final destination for drug or drug trafficking. The NIB made a high-profile bust of drugs last week with a street value of $350 million. Well, that's the statement from the presidency. Away from that, imagine going to school but not knowing where you sit. For years, students in Nwaso, in the eastern region, had to face that plight. But guess what? There's hope for them now. And in showbiz, Jarul has been providing that hope. He went there and provided them with aid that they need so much. There's more in this report.
What started as a promise has now become a reality. A 6-unit classroom block now stands where the rooms once were, bringing relief to students and teachers alike. The shift system is now a thing of the past, and for the first time in years, every child at Nyaso Anglican Basic School can sit in the proper classroom without worrying about space or the weather.
This school was chosen for this project to specifically end the shift system that existed in this school for years. This system was scrapped by the Ghana Education for years, but this school cannot help but to continue to run the shifts.
For American rapper and singer Ja Rule, this isn't about fixing classrooms. It's about building dreams. He believes education goes beyond textbooks and that activities like sport and the art can play a big role in shaping the future of these pupils.
I'm really excited and honored. There's a lot of emotions running right now. This is like one of the most, it's probably the most important thing that I've done in my career. So it's very amazing to me, yeah.
You were talking about expanding the facilities, that is the gym, the dance and all that. Do you think is equal to the classroom experience?
Well, that's how we wrap up the bulletin. For more news, please log on to myjoyonline.com. My name is Faustina Safo. Have a pleasant evening as you enjoy the rest of our programs.